The trick is you find two pieces that connect. Then at least you have a place to start.
Hello everyone and welcome to Geek Anime channel. I'm your detective host Igor, and today we are finishing a 1-month journey. Just about a month ago I started to rewatch every episode of the first 2 seasons of one of the best and most horrifying TV shows out there, From. And I have to tell you, your support and your commitment to this experience was unbelievable. It was humbling, it was everything I could ever hope for. So many comments, so many even more donations, Patreons. It just made me feel like I am finally at my place in this world, and I owe you for that feeling, which is an amazing feeling. Now today I prepared for you one of the longest probably videos that I have ever made. Almost 150, I think 160 slides. We're gonna go past to season 1, we're gonna go to the previous episodes of season 2, we're gonna try to build some theories, and as usual we're gonna analyze the shit out of every shot we have seen in this episode. So, we're gonna go so deep, not even Axel Foley will be able to find us.
This is deep. I'm going deep. I'm going deep, deep, deep.
Now, as usual, I want to thank everyone who supports me on Patreon. You guys and girls make me sound a little less stupid when I talk to somebody about one day becoming a full-time YouTuber. Thanks to you, this is not just a fool's dream anymore. This is actually something that can maybe happen one day. And I will be able to do this for a living? Are you kidding me? Watch my favorite TV shows and deep dive on them for your entertainment and for my entertainment also? This sounds like something I wouldn't even dare to dream about just a couple of months ago. And thanks to you, this looks like maybe even a potential reality. So, as usual, let's dive in. Now, the season finale of season 2 presents its own problem. 3 people are being kidnapped by some kind of mystical, mysterious force, the cicadas, wherever they avatar for. And when Donna and Elgin and the douchebag Dale find Randall, he is laying in a very similar pose. We have seen already this girl laying basically almost in the same pose. Now I'm gonna switch between both of them, like hands laying like that, legs in this weird kind of position. Now, some of you said that it reminds the tarot card, the Hanging Man. Yeah, kinda does, even though it's a little bit switched, let's say it that way. But you know, since there is a very popular tarot card theory out there, you obviously notice those kind of things. Now, I have no idea if it means something. We basically talked about it in the previous episode, and we said that it kind of resembles the number 4, which I think is a little bit far-fetched, but still, we notice, we share. Now, we haven't seen Julie passed out after the cicadas attacked her, also not Marielle, and Marielle even just tied to the bed, so she wouldn't be able to strike that pose even if she wanted to. But since both of them are kind of similar, it kind of makes me think, why is that? Because usually there is a director who's standing there and he's saying to Randall, please lay down like that, put your leg just like that, put your hands just like that. So why? You know, what is the purpose of them laying in the same freaking pose? Probably just some kind of like an Easter egg or just some tiny connection for us to notice, but maybe there is some kind of deep meaning behind it. Anyway, let's just move forward. There is a lot to talk about in this video. We can see that all of them have white eyes, and it kind of feels like if your soul or whatever spiritual being you have in the presence of this place is being stolen, this is when you're gonna have the white eyes. Maybe it's some kind of a connection to this different dimension, different reality that's obviously exists in this place. We talked about it this many times, but maybe if you watching my videos for the first time ever, we have seen already people being into different place in the same time. We're gonna have Randall laying here on the floor, and we're gonna have Randall being tortured in the cellar. So it is already like a fact. It's hard to argue with that there is something here. Something I kind of like to think about it, just something similar to the upside world in Stranger Things. It's not exactly the same, but it looks very similar. So we can see here that Randall has white eyes, and everybody has white eyes. Julie have white eyes, in Marielle have white eyes, Monster when they attack have white eyes, the weird vision that Jade had in episode 3 season 1 also had white eyes, so probably this is a symbol of some kind of a connection to a different dimension. We've seen already people here being in two places simultaneously, like Randall is laying on the floor, Julie here is laying on her bed, but simultaneously both of them are in this weird mystical cellar where Boyd found Martin and where Boyd is gonna rescue them from. So you can be simultaneously in two different places. There are gonna be a couple of other clues that this different dimension is some kind of a mirror dimension. So it's basically very similar. It's either you move in time here or it's a different kind of world similar to the Upside Down in Stranger Things. Not exactly like it, but very similar. And we can see all of them, all of the victims are screaming simultaneously. As soon as Randall starts screaming, we can see Julie screaming here, and by the way, kudos to the actress. I can basically make a separate video about her chin here, like what do you think this symbol means? And also we can see Mariel is screaming too. So whatever tortures them doesn't do it separately, it tortures them all together. Now it kind of makes you think and ask a couple of questions. We have seen that Martin was being alive and the other two dudes were being kind of dead but in different state. One of them looked like it was burned a couple of months ago and a couple of weeks ago, and other looked like it was hanging there already for a couple of decades and just the skeleton left. So something doesn't match here. Anyway, let's move forward and we have our first clue, and I'm gonna put it all on the screen. So in the end of this video we're gonna look at all of them and try to reach some kind of a conclusions. Now we see that eyes turn white when your soul or whatever spiritual being you have in this place is stolen somehow, when you are corrupted by evil. So the monsters are attacking, it looks like they just want to play, they want to like hang out. The girl who was playing Virgin Mario kinda even looked like she was honest when she said like we didn't choose to be that way, but when they attack, when they are ready to rip people apart, their eyes turn white. So obviously they're not good guys, okay? They want to torture, they want to play, but it looks like when they attacked, something controls them. We've seen them standing next to the van, not doing anything, waiting for command, waiting for something. Something is controlling them. Now, this is when your eyes probably turn white. Once again, it's just an assumption. I'm not saying it 100% true, but once again, I notice I share. Now we can see that Boyd is coming to the rescue. He obviously needs to save everyone. He knows it's his responsibility. He took it on him. Now when he's saying about this place was like completely built and there was this Martin guy, he was just chained up there, and we can just remember this structure, okay? It looks very noticeable, so you're probably not gonna mix it with anything else. Now when Sarah is trying to like switch on her powers, she's saying that she can hear it. She can hear the music actually, and she even can locate the music box. She's saying it's right there. It's almost like she's seeing it, which means like maybe she can experience it not just by hearing but her other senses. Anyway, she can say that she can hear them screaming. She is feeling this rip between those two dimensions. Like some people can actually hear it. We can see that Sarah can hear the music in the ruins. Now if you remember, we talked about it somewhere, I think it was episode 5 or 4, and when Fatima was talking to Elgin, she said to him like there was this girl Nadia and she told us that this place kinda wants to talk to us, it wants to reach us, but only some of us can listen. Now to remind you all of those scenes, let's just watch this video that I made for you.
One girl, Nadia, she used to say that it was like this place was calling out to us, but only some of us were listening.
Hi, honey.
It hurts.
Ethan.
We just gotta support the airway like that. Your forearms a little bit more.
They're coming.
Okay, grab her arm, grab her arm. Okay, come on.
Hey, what's wrong?
Hey, Sarah.
Elgin?
Your nose is bleeding.
Did you see that? Did you see them? There's something. There's something. It's here.
Now let's summarize. This place is calling out and only few can listen. Elgin had a seizure and Matthew's house collapsed simultaneously. Ethan had a seizure when the monsters arrived in episode 1 season 1. Sarah had a seizure when she was told to kill the kid. By the way, maybe it wasn't even Ethan, there is another kid who's wearing always white, the little fucker. And Sarah also had a seizure next to the bottle tree, and Tabitha's nose was bleeding next to the Ankui children. We can see here already some kind of a connection. As soon as there are people that can reach to this other side, this place can get in touch with them, they either experiencing seizures or their noses bleeding or something happens to them. The only people kinda immune to that are Boyd and Jade. They are experiencing visions all the time and nothing happens to them. Which is also, I think, something interesting to think about, like why not both of them? And once again, suddenly Sarah is starting to really experience what's happening in this place. And she's telling Boyd and Kenny that it needs them. Now, let's remember the lullaby. They come, they break, they steal, whatever they do, like they shitty people probably, and they're gonna make you feel bad. Now suddenly it's already not they, it's an it, and it needs them, and needs them to stay. It needs them to 3 dots, like guess yourself, because probably if she would tell us we would understand something, and the creators of the shows really don't like when we understand something. And it's saying us that it's laughing at you. Sarah saying to us that it's laughing at you, at Boyd, for bringing it back to town. So it is it. It is the cicadas, or the cicadas, those spirits that were inside Boyd, is just once again some kind of a tools, toys, just like monsters, just the tip of a spear like Martin said. So there is an it, the big bad, and it's laughing at Boyd because Boyd brought it back to the town. So kind of once again made me think about the ending of season 1 with the tree covered in spider webs and Abby is being trapped there, not able to escape those spider webs. Maybe this is the it we are talking about. And then, like when Sarah keeps talking, she's saying it wants to hurt us because it was probably, you know, the main hero of 50 Shades of Grey, and it got so excited when it touched your arm. So we have like already a chain of event. It was like, let's go to town, let's see what happens there. It's kind of boring here in the forest. When it got to town, it touched Kenny and it got very excited. So maybe it's Christy. Not, I'm kidding of course, but when it got touched Kenny's arm and it felt it can affect people, it can cause harm, it can cause damage, it got very excited. And now this it wants to break, steal and touch 3 people. It comes for free unless you stop the melody. So something is here not working for me, the switch between they and it. I'm still thinking about it. As I told you, my idea is basically they, the cicadas, the spirits that came with Boyd, it's not it. Okay, it's a big it that controls everything, the monster, the cicadas, everything. But it raises a very important question. If this is true, so why it would be so easy to stop it? You just break the music box and the cicadas are just leaving and everybody's saved? It feels pretty easy to me, like Boyd just broke the music box, that's it. He needed to talk to Abby, but it was kinda creepy, weird Abby. It wasn't that difficult to resist her charms, let's say it that way. Anyway, I think once again it's all part of the plan, and Boyd being able to rescue everyone is the same like he was talking to God in the church scene and he was saying, why did you make me think I can save everyone? Once again, this place feeds on hope, so you being able to save those 3 people once again gives you hope that you're doing something right and then puts you through even more suffering. Now let's move forward, and when they die it'll be too late. So it's kind of even like laid up rules for you, like this is the rules of the game, this is what you need to do in order to win, this is what's gonna happen if you're gonna lose. So let's add another clue. There is an it that got excited after the touch. Now it tortures Randall, Mariel and Julie. It is bounded by some rule that those 3 need to die to be free to do whatever it wants. Kinda felt weird, like who set up those rules? Why 3? Okay, 3 is kind of magical number. You can find it on almost every religion, every mythology, every lore out there. There is something we as humans really enjoy about these numbers. I don't know what is that, but probably there is something. Anyway, like something is basically entrapped this this big bad that is trying to hurt everybody, but there are rules for it to escape, and one of the rules, you have to sacrifice 3 people. But once again, if you can just kill those, we've seen already this force can do it pretty easily. It basically exploded a girl from the inside. Now it needs to put them all in the cellar, like their spirits, and kill their spirits from the inside. So I have to ask a question, is it really what's happening, or is just once again just a plot to bring Boyd there back to this place, make him break the music box, and maybe with that release even more shackles on that thing? I don't know, break even more shackles on the thing. I don't know, once again just speedball in there. Anyway, we move forward and we can see the colony house. We have this one nice dude, he's preparing something to warm everybody up. He's like, I don't know what is this device is, have no idea of course, but it looks like he's taking care of everybody else. But of course, we're not gonna go through this episode without the freaky Tilly. The suspicious Tilly. You know, we have something to do with her, and she's probably gonna surprise us in season 3. So when we see her, Tilly, praying with everybody and reading Psalm 23.4, yeah, do I walk through the shadow of the valley of death?
I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
So first of all, we can safely assume already that Tilly is basically Coolio. So we already figured this out. But what is interesting here that she is quoting King James Bible, and we have seen it already being quoted by Father Khatri in season 1. Now obviously it can be not King James Bible, it can be either variations of the Bible, but I checked through all of them and there's another 3, and they're basically not in a very common use for the past 100 years. It's like the standard American version and another couple 2 versions there. I'm gonna put them as usual in the comments section. So it's either some kind of hint to Father Khatri somehow being Catholic and still quoting King James Bible, and now even Tilly is doing that, or maybe if Tilly is quoting here like some kind of old version of Bible, she's that old. She's even way older than she looks, which is suspicious. And of course we can like see here the King James Bible. I just showed it to you just to remind you, because episode 5 episode 5 season 1 was already like almost a month ago, and here we can see that Tilly created a circle of 7. Now there are 2 people here that are praying, but still there is a circle of 7, and we're gonna watch at this episode a sacrifice ritual, which looks like at least like a sacrifice ritual, when there are 7 stones and 7 Ankui children looking upside down and like looking on the top, and they're like, Ankui, Ankui, please come to me, I want some Ankui today. And a circle of 7 couldn't be a coincidence today, it just doesn't work like that. So yeah, Tilly talking about 4 children, 7 grandchildren, creating a circle of 7, you know, like spitting some great Coolio lines there. There is something wrong with her. She's obviously an inside job here. Now, let's talk about the storylines right now. The whole episode kinda at this moment splits to 3 different storylines, which are connected but also separate. We have Jade, we have Boyd, and we have Tabutha, and we're gonna start with the Jade. Now, he is basically working on some like glass, he's breaking bottles and he's trying to do something with the glass. Now, he never specifically says what the hell he is doing. He basically wants to probably look at this symbol through the glass, because the glass can like change what you're seeing, it can distort the image that you're looking at. So maybe it is what he's doing here. When he's even saying it's a thought experiment. It was something what I was doing when I was developing my tell us, please tell us already what the hell you were developing. It looks like that it was something related to understanding this place, because otherwise the creators would probably share it with us already. It was like, I was making a video game, I was making an algorithm, I don't know, an AI, whatever it is. If they're hiding it, it's something worth hiding. So how did it help him when he was developing something? Like, what, you're looking at the line of code through the glass and it somehow helps you. Eventually, like my first thought was that he's basically trying like to break a bottle and then start piecing it like a puzzle, like try to piece, connect a piece with piece to basically recover the bottle, and then like give your brain a sense of accomplishment, a sense of like you're finding what's missing, and meanwhile, simultaneously, your brain keeps working on the problem, and then you can have the eureka moment. Like this is basic psychology. This is something I even remember from school. The eureka effect works when you stop completely thinking about the problem. Like you need to switch your mind to something completely different, something else. Just watch a movie, watch a TV show, do something like some manual labor, and suddenly you can have the eureka moment because your brain there on the background keeps working on the problem without you focusing on it. So my first thought was that this is what he is doing. But this is not what he's saying. And by the way, Jade is the best as usual. When he sees like Tom, his reaction is so nonchalant. He's like, "You died, right?" He was like, "Yeah." "Oh, just wanted to make sure we're on the same page." Like no freak on, nothing, like not even tiny reaction there, like basically you're probably a hallucination. Okay, I can use somebody to talk to right now. Let's do this thing. This is why Jade is the best. Anyway, he's talking about changing perspective. It's a way of reorienting my perspective. So this is what you use glass for. He's looking through it. He was trying to like look at every piece, and he was looking for something that he needs, like the one that distorts the image as he wants to distort it. Now he understands that you need to look at the image in a different kind of angle, and this is what's gonna happen there. And at some point I was even thinking that maybe Tom, just like Father Katri, is some kind of an inner voice, some kind of an inner voice manifestation. Just like Father Katri was talking to Boyd about a difficult decision that Boyd knew he has to make, he was just trying to avoid it. Now the same thing here happens with Jade. There is a difficult decision he needs to make and he is trying to avoid it, and Tom is there to help him reach it. Now trying to find a different way to look at a symbol, and here at this moment, yeah, it's probably Tom. Like this idea that is just an inner voice manifestation, like him noticing that he changed the steel, make me think that he can experience physical things, or he just knew, like all of the spirits know in here things, like Tom died and everything else. By the way, just am I talking to you right now, we discussed that when Father Katri talked to Boyd and he said like, I heard that the position of the bartender is vacant here because he died. We were like, yeah, you can see everything that happens here in 4K screen TV, blah blah blah. Or Father Katri, both Tom, Abby, they all in this different upside down world. Maybe if you die here at this place, you go to this upside down world, which is a mirror to this world, and you still can see everything that happens in FROMVILLE basically, because they kind of like collapse onto each other, they like overlap. And also Tom was there like, "Hey Father Katri, oh you died too? Yeah, I died too, yeah, high five bro." You know, like men don't need that much to become friends. And yeah, we move forward, you already know what you have to do, like he's basically pushing him to go to the cave, like there is a purpose to that. So if I'm right and it is Tom from the underworld or whatever it is, I cannot imagine him being like in the after death place and like, yeah, I really need to help Jade go into this place. It feels like something sent him. Now what is this something? Once again, let's keep watching this video. And he's saying like, Tabutha told you she saw the symbol down in the tunnels, and of course you do, it's a natural design. Like once again, it's very interesting that he's saying about the same reason your brain is in your skull, the same reason your heart's behind your ribs, and nature will always put what's most precious in the most difficult spot to reach. So probably what we're gonna find in the cave is gonna be the most precious thing for this place. This most precious thing is something that kills it and sets everybody free. Kinda logical to assume that. I just add this clue, the one that I just said to you, and Jade is saying to Tom that there is absolutely nothing natural about this place. And Tom's reaction is wrong. There is nothing familiar about this place. And it kinda reminds me of our previous episode with Christy talking about the magic ball of fire. We live in a place that is completely magical, completely ununderstandable, but it is familiar to us, so we don't freak out. But in FROMVILLE, there are a lot of things that are just not familiar, but everything here is natural. Once again, creators are telling us this is not just booga 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 story. This is not just woo, magic kind of story. No, everything is gonna be explained, everything happens for a reason, and everything follows the rules of nature, which is very, very interesting. Now, also another interesting conversation between Tom and Jade, he's talking about his moral compass. Given the choice, I'd do the same thing again. You don't make moral choices based on the outcomes you expect. Very interesting, by the way, you make them based on whatever or not you think they're right. Once again, it feels like some kind of a manipulation to send Jade to where he needs to go, to the caves. He's telling him like, you understand the outcome and the risk. Like as a person, we can see that Jade is freaking genius, okay? He built some kind of amazing startup that he sold for a shitload of money. He's coming to this place, he is the one who figures out everything. He is the one who figured out about the radio. He is the one that figured out about how to work the electricity here. He is the one who just for fun completely changed the steel, which is not related to computer programming, but he was that smart to make the alcohol even better here at this place. So obviously, when he assesses the risks, he is telling to himself it's not worth it. It's not worth to go to the caves because the risk you take and the outcome you may receive just not collaborate. They're just not working together. It's not something that's worth doing logically. And Tom is there to convince him that this is something he needs to do. He is there to elevate his super ego. Once again, let's talk about basic psychology. There's like this Freudian theory that basically we have like an id, like all of our desires, basic animal wants, like, you know, like for food, sex, shelter, and so on. We have like the superego. This is the perfect us. This is the how we want the world to see us. We are helping an old lady to cross the path, we are helping everybody, we are like amazing, we are the heroes. When we men tend to dream about saving everybody or taking the last stand and helping everybody else to escape, this is our super ego talking to us and sending us those daydreams. Now, between all of this is us, and we're trying to navigate those two. We try to get everything we want as animals, but we also try to stay human in the process. And Tom is there to basically elevate Jade's superego, his moral compass, because we've seen that Jade was really traumatized by what happened to Julie. He's not a sociopath. He pretends to be one, but he's obviously not one. He really wants to help Julie, and he needs to fight his logical side here. And Tom here, once again, he's mentioning the trolley problem and all of those philosophical conundrums that basically talk about, you know, who you gotta save and all of those things. And he's saying he wasn't thinking about it. It was really not a retelling of a story. Like if it was an avatar, if it wasn't really Tom, this spirit or whatever probably wouldn't talk like that. It sounds a lot like the same person who actually went to help Jim and who died by doing so. So once again, I'm more and more starting to think that Tom and Katri, this is Tom and Katri. This is not fake Tom and Katri. As I told you, this is gonna be a long video, very long. There's a lot I wanted to talk to you about. Anyway, we can see that Jade is convinced and he's going to the caves. And when he notices the doll, and we already know whose doll is that, we've seen already the previews for season 3, not gonna mention it. You don't want to get some spoilers, but almost all of the theories were correct here. Now we can see that there's a scream, the monster scream, the same scream that Jade hears all the time. He heard it the first vision with the weird dude in the cellar, he heard it with the doll in the second season, he hears it also right now, but when you look at the doll, I freeze frame the moment for you, the doll's mouth is closed. In the second vision, at least the doll's mouth was open, sorry. This time no, and when Jade is even coming closer, it looks completely dead. Now its legs also look kind of weird. Once again, it's not exactly just like Randall's and whatever that girl name was, legs were positioned in the scene, but also it's kind of weird pose, don't you think so? Like there's a lot of like Weird broken legs here in this TV show suddenly. Like, I didn't notice it, but once again, thanks to the live stream on Reels channel, Taran mentioned it, and now I'm starting to notice this too. Now, you remember like those kind of poses here. So yeah, we can see that he can't even touch the doll. This is the real doll. Like, if you can touch it, if you can feel it, it's not already something spiritual like the previous visions he had. You just see them and suddenly it's not there anymore. Even though the civil soldier was shooting at Jade and Jade was covered in blood and he kind of felt it too. Anyway, he gets to the caves, the same caves where Tabitha found the Ankui children. So notice something. Jade went to find the symbol that Victor showed to Tabitha in the caves in the end of season 1. This is what he was looking for, because this is what Tabitha told him. Now he finds something completely different. And let's talk about it. We can see here at 3. Once again 3. They come for 3, there is 3, there's a lot of 3 here. We come for 3 fat roots and everything is closed here. My theory, and it's just a shot in the blind here, like once again, just something that I feel. It's not like a logical conclusion, but I think Jade right now is right under the same tree that was covered in spiderweb. I think this is the source. This is where the it is being held up. This is where it's being like trapped. So suddenly there is a vision, vision for you, and Jade is doing some breakdance moves and they're like, Ankui, Ankui, let's look up and scream Ankui, because we don't have Xbox here, so what else we gonna do? You know, there's like girl Ankui, there's like a boy Ankui, and there's another girl Ankui. Let's look at all the Ankui children, because what else we can do? Once again, this one have some kind of like, I don't know what is that even. It's not bruises, it's like spots, and his clothes looks a little bit more modern. He has like a button shirt. It's a bit different from everybody else, and it kind of even slightly, but reminds me the boy in white. And we can see that only this girl have this scar on her forehead. At this moment I started to curse like a Russian sailor, because I noticed that none of them, look, none of them have the scars. None of them have the scars. So I was like, okay, this is pre-ritual. This is what happens. There's this ritual and then they're gonna get this scar. Somebody's gonna come like forehead, 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 7 foreheads for the eat. Sacrifice the eat for the hoarders. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move forward. She is having this scar. Why she's the only one? This just pisses me off. Because once again, every theory that you build just crumbles. Why is she the only one who has this scar? Because we have seen all of those children, we have seen them with those scars already. They don't have them now, so I assume it was because they didn't went through the whole sacrificing ritual, but this one kinda did already, and she's still here. Broke my brain. They come, they break, they broke my brain. Anyway, let's see, as far as I can suggest and notice here, and once again I will never stop apologizing for assuming their gender, but it looks like there's 3 girls and 4 boys here. Once again, 3 and 4, 7, 4 and 7, 4. Probably no connection, but we're crazy here, so whatever. Let's move forward, and there is the most important place. And look please at the sky. If you look at this angle, you're gonna see some trees. And we looked from the top of the lighthouse, from the roof of the colony house. Everything is fucking covered with trees. There is no place without trees. Everything is trees. I think this is how you freaking escape from this place. You need to destroy those roots. This is like the source. This is the heart. Okay, the beating heart of this place. This is what powers it. So I think this is how you do it. You come here, you find this place, you burn the shit out of those roots, and you climb up, and this is how you escape. Because not everybody's gonna just jump through the lighthouse and hope for the best. This is not a very good end for the TV show. Can you imagine it like the series finale? The last 5 minutes, everybody's like, yeah, high five, let's go jump, I wanna dive in as a fish, I wanna fly like a bird, yeah. Titles. Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen like that. Anyway, suddenly, nothing else. Like once again, we're coming back, the same 3 roots, This is the ones. They are the ones. Now they're back. So there are those two dimensions. One is closed, one is open, and they are overlapping each other. Jade really wanted to see this symbol from a different angle, and he got the chance. Finally, he got to see it in 3 dimensions, and we can see that there is one who is on top of everyone, there is the second one, and there is a third one, and there are overlapping. And those moments and those points where they overlap, probably what we are seeing. The people that can experience this place, the Civil War soldiers, sorry, appearing in different places, the whole mystical whatever happens here. I think this is just because those two places overlap. This is why FROMVILLE is closed. This is why it's a very special place, because here the line between this world and the upside down world is very, very vague. So if you forgot, this is the tree. This is the tree with the spider web. It's pretty big, it's pretty large, not the biggest one, but it looks like it was a source of something. Once again, I may be completely off here, like not even close to true, but once again, if we're just connecting the dots, the piece puzzles that we have, this looks like a very important tree. Another very important tree is obviously the bottle tree, and a bottle tree and a faraway tree is probably the most important one, so maybe those roots are under the bottle tree, the bottle faraway tree. Let's call him that way. So yeah, also can be true. Anyway, once again, the most precious things is the roots of a tree, is this the escape. And let's go to the Boyd line, and it's just a small tiny moment, an Easter egg. The Boyd storyline starts with Boyd standing in the background, there is a ship, and we know that Boyd is gonna be very happy when he gonna get his ship. Anyway, when we move forward, unfortunately, and I'm so sorry for that, but part of Boyd's storyline is the moron. And once again, he's talking about how easily we break, and thank you so much. Somebody wrote to me in the comments that basically this is what it refers to. Well, kind of obvious right now. I kind of feel even ashamed a little bit that I didn't think about myself, but yeah, they touch, they break, they steal. They touched Kenny, they break people, and they steal people. Like they broke this girl, and now they stole 3 people. So this is what they do. But once again, if it's they, why is Sarah referring to it as a it? Ah? Somebody explain it to me, please! And yeah, I just checked Ellise's jacket there, and I found it on some shop. It's a drawing of Guatemala Quetzal bird, an Aztec drawing probably. I don't know if it's somehow connected, but since you can buy it online, I don't think it's just a prop. It was just something that the creators were like, yeah, let's buy this one, kinda looks pretty interesting for our show, let's get this one for Ellise. So yeah, probably not that much of symbolism or idea here. Anyway, when we move forward, once again, moron. You're a moron, first of all, but you try to hit this guy on the head, maybe, you know, like when they do in the movies, like choke him up, so he will just lose conscience. Why did you need to kill the guy? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're gonna just get there earlier than all of us, so kill yourself and help yourself to get there earlier than everybody else. Why do you need to go and start killing people? Because you're a moron. Sorry for, you know, like that. Anyway, we can see there is a lot of budded crosses there. Like, oh, you can understand where there's like a tire or there's a cogwheel. We know this is the place where Ellise is building like his whatever, like structures. But the budded cross is basically, once again, let me read for you with my reading voice. The old pagan use of the Celtic cross is well known, where their circle or disc represented the sun. It is believed the design was copied by the early Christians in Europe. A cross with 3 circles or discs on each end in a Christian context represents the Holy Trinity, but was probably also copied from earlier Celtic Druidry, where their circles or rings represent the 3 dominions of earth, sky, and sea. There are several names for this cross, depending on the interpretation. These include Barret, Apostles, or Cathedral Cross, or implying a religious theme, and Trefle or Botoni in a heraldic context. Once again, it can be just a symbol, just something that we work with because We talked about a lot about history, a lot about the history of the world, and specifically about the American continent, and it is related to it. And let us move forward, and once again, I'm probably already losing my mind with the scars, but after I started to noticing the scars on the foreheads of Anhui children, Jim, some dolls in season 3, and more and more and more, every time I see the same scar, and they kind of look all the same, like there's a straight line or something, I notice. Once again, maybe the guy or the girl who is responsible for making scars for the characters is not really there to invent the wheel, just like you get a scar, you get the same scar, you get a scar, you get a scar, everybody gets the scar, and it's pretty much the same scar for everybody. Now, when we move forward, once again, just it was almost a Suits moment. You know this TV show about lawyers, like in every episode they have this moment when they're like talking, oh my god, we're in a big trouble, we're gonna lose this case, we're in a deep shit. And the other one is like, yeah, oh my god, we cannot lose. Wait a second. Shit. They're transferring shit from point A to B. Section 7 point B tells they can't do it. Oh my god, we got them. Yeah, we got them. High five. Like 9 seasons of it, almost every episode. And I really love the show, by the way. But it was already close here when Boyd is like there's gotta be something I can hold in my hands. Yeah, the torch. Man, the torch. You're gonna get there, but it's gonna take a couple of more minutes. Anyway, we're moving forward. Like, this is also not some kind of a find, we're not gonna help us with the theory, but it's just a funny moment to me. Fatima is there like, I don't know, where are we going? Where can we go? And Donna is like, it's gonna be a surprise. I just made you dress, put this super beautiful dress, super like high class, for probably we're gonna make some, I don't know, some macaroni and cheese or something like this. You know you're going to get married right now, but you're just pretending for the sake of it because it's a special moment and I don't blame you. But yeah, we can see here once again just a nice moment. We obviously can see some drawings behind it. This one is really a Rorschach test for me. I don't understand what I see here. I see Nazgul here, probably not related to FROMVILLE. Here it looks like an angel statue here, but the nice moment here is that basically Ellise is wearing his mother's necklace with the pearl, and it kind of, you know, like, it's a nice moment. The guy wanted to feel his mother next to him when he is married. Yeah, it's a sentimental moment, but it's when it's done right. I enjoy those moments like anybody else. And when we move forward, we have the Suits moment. And like when he's talking about the light that guides us, Boyd is like, the light that guides us. We got them. Yeah, high five. Let's save everybody. We also are getting familiar with Fatima's last name. It's Hassam Bostami. Bostami didn't feel to me like an Iranian last name, but had to check it out, and it actually is. And anyway, this is the moment once again that raises a couple of questions story-wise. Like, let's once again consider this moment. There's the moron comes and he shoots Boyd. Like, if we delete in this moment, nothing changes. Boyd still goes to the cellar and still save everybody. But the creators wanted to put this moment there just for the sake of, you know, like having a specific amount of footage to get 10 episodes. I don't know. Since the episode is longer than most of them, most of the episodes are like 40 minutes, and this one is 55 minutes or something like this with the titles in the end. So yeah, this scene has to have some meaning. Like, no meaning of as we usually looking here for a meaning, like what does it say, who was shooting who in the arm in the year of 1506. No, but it has to serve somehow the story later. Boyd needs to get shot, he needs to be not able to move. Maybe this is the injury that will stop him, prevent him from saving someone later, because he's not really, he's kind of immobilized. Like, he can move, obviously, it's just one arm, but obviously you're not 100% yourself when one arm is basically just there, just hanging there. So yeah, this is the only thing that comes to my mind when I'm trying to understand what was even the point of this moron. He could just go to the sign lights after his girlfriend was being killed and not bother us with his bad acting. And it was, every time he acted, I had Michael Scott in my mind.
Wake up! Wake up! You can't go to sleep. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you listening to me? The talisman will not protect you.
Acting! Acting!
And we are in the cellar where Martin was and where Julie, Randall and Mariel right now. And look at the arc. As I told you, this is some kind of an upside mirror world because it is the same structure. You can hear like this is the structure a couple of 100 years later. That is what's left of her. So either it's, as I told you, just like in Stranger Things, you just go through the, I don't know, through the hatch and suddenly you're in a different world, which is a complete copy of this one, but with monsters. Or it's somehow those dimensions exist in different timelines, like in different time zones even. Not time zones like we have, but basically like you can light up the torch and suddenly you're in 1506 or in 1606 or whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? So basically it is a sort of a time travel, but it's done pretty much differently from most of the TV shows and movies we have seen that discuss basically touch this subject of time travel. Now here we can see there is an empty space. Somebody here is not being taken, but the music box is here. So nobody here is free. The music box is kind of trapped. I don't know, once again, probably I'm stretching too much here, but look at the music box, look at the shackles here. Looks like somebody needs to be put here. Maybe it's supposed to be Boyd, maybe it was the plan to bring him here and then Abby would be like him, give me a kiss, oh please kiss me dear, and then boom, push you away to the wall, put you in shackles, that's it. Not in shackles, in shackles. Sorry, my Jewishness got the best of me here. And anyway, but it feels like music box is, yeah, it is. Nothing here is free. When we come back to the lullaby, nothing here is free. The music box is obviously not free too, and they all wanted to escape. The boy in white, the whatever it here is torturing everybody, they want to be free. They want to torture everybody, they want to hurt everybody, but in order to do that, they need to be free. And it feels like the music box is somehow being like symbolically next to the shackles here, saying it to us that it needs to be free, and maybe Boyd breaking it actually frees it. Not freeing the cicadas was just a tool, but freeing the big bad, the big it. And when we move forward, suddenly there's Abby. Now when I said to you that Father Guthrie and Tom, probably Father Guthrie and Tom, regarding Abby, I'm still not sure. And even if it is Abby, I think after she died, she went to a different place than Father Guthrie and Tom. And maybe there is, once again, there is this popular theory by Terran. You're probably familiar with it if you were strong enough to read it all, because it's a big one. But it says about like different powers, different forces here playing a game. I'm not necessarily, once again, sure about this theory, because I don't see how the creators gonna be able to ever to explain it so everybody will understand it. But there is something about like a couple of powers here fighting each other, so maybe they get different forces. Maybe like Father Guthrie and Tom went to Boy in White, they're his responsibility, they're his soldier, his chess pieces. You know, there was a point of people playing chess in this TV show, like Kenny and his father. Kind of makes you think about it. Maybe Abby went to the it, maybe it controls Abby. Or, once again, it's not Abby, it's just a manifestation, it's just some kind of an avatar for this evil force. And this evil force tries to stop Boyd from destroying this box. It's not gonna end their suffering because everybody's gonna die. She's like, once again, let's build up our theory. We have here Ghost Abby wants Boyd to give up and be together. We want to be together. She wants him to die, so he will be able to actually go to the same place where she is right now. And Ghost Tom wants Jade to see the symbol. Different kind of goals. So I think they are probably not the same. They're not coming from the same place. They may be coming from opposite forces. And we can see that she, though, Abby, this is also why I think it's not Abby, real Abby, she's saying they're all gonna die screaming and enter screaming, like Randall, Mary and Julie once again starting to scream simultaneously, just like in the beginning of the episode. She's like cranking up the volume and there starts screaming. She is controlling that, or something that controls her, controlling the suffering of Randall, Mariel and Julie. Probably not Abby. And once again, we can see that Ghost Abby controls the torture level, and none of this matters. Life and death, she's saying like none of this matters. You are saving 3 people right now, it's not gonna matter because everybody's gonna die. Like, this is a stupid logic, everybody's gonna die. Like, stop taking this life too seriously, nobody gonna survive it. One of the famous quotes that I really enjoy. But it doesn't mean we're gonna hurry up, get in there. Life is pretty fucking amazing. Let's enjoy as much as we can. When we're gonna get there, we're gonna get there. Meanwhile, let me eat some popcorn and watch some interesting movies. This is gonna be fun. And once again, life and death are not the same here. It feels like a little bit, right? Like she's saying like life and death in this place, it's not like out there. It's not like before FROMVILLE. Like before FROMVILLE, you die, that's it. Here, you die and then you come back to see your grieving husband, and then you come back to talk a little bit with your friend by Father Katri or by Tom. So yeah, maybe this is what she means when she's saying doesn't matter at all. Another moment, like when she's saying we can be together, it feels a little bit cliche, it feels a little like something we have seen many times in movies and TV shows. There's like all of the ghosts, like turn on Supernatural, there's like 25 million episodes and many of them are like we are the ghost and we want to be together, let's be together. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna go to spoilers, but you know, many times the ghost is like staying in the place and he's like, the reason I'm staying because I cannot see this one grieving, I want to be with him, her or whatever. So maybe this is once again something like just die already because I'm bored in the afterlife and I need to see my husband. Yeah, and Boyd is actually asking a pretty logical question, like how does it even work? Like this thing that basically tortures everybody here and want to kill all of us, it kind of lets you come in here for a little chat. Now if this is true, if this is the thing that tortures them and actually lets Abby come for a chat, and it may be actually be Abby still, who then does release Father Katri and Tom? And as I told you, my idea is that it basically the boy in white, or if you're gonna go completely insane here, completely tinfoil hat, the it and the they and the whatever, the cicadas and the boy in white, this is just the same thing, something that plays chess with our characters when they still don't realize they are trying to play checkers. And she says like it knows you won't listen, it wants you to fight. This is the moment when maybe kind of feel like maybe it is Abby. Like you can see I'm going there and there, like I'm all over the place because there's so much information and there's a lot for and there's a lot against, and I cannot come to like one sensible conclusion here. But when she's saying it knows you won't listen, it wants you to fight, and she looks really worried, once again it feels like she is like a herald of this force. And maybe she is, maybe after her killing everybody in town she went to the hell and Father Katri and Tom went to heaven of this place. Heaven is ruled by the boy in white and hell is ruled by the it, by the forces, the cicadas, the worms, whatever you want to call them. Now she says like it wants you to have hope that you could actually win. We talk about the hope, blah blah blah, because hope is what makes you willing to suffer. Hope is what made you leave me alone when I needed you the most. This feels like a very cheap gaslighting manipulation. She's like trying to make him feel bad about what he did so he will do what she wants right now. Once again, if this is Abby, this is kind of a dick move. This is not how you talk to your husband. This is not how you make him do something you want him to do. Once again, you can see like 5 minutes ago, I was like, yeah, this is Abby. And then I'm like, no, this is not Abby. So let's hope for the best that we're gonna get some answers, and meanwhile I'm just gonna be undecided. Anyway, when we move forward, she's like, it's not your fears that feed the forest, we know this, we went through this moment many times. If they don't die today, they'll just die tomorrow. She's repeating Moran's lines here. Once again, it kind of feels like maybe the cicadas, the demons influenced Moran and made him shoot Boyd, and she's just repeating the same line. And we can see like after Boyd destroying the music box, they cough, Julie coughs, Mariel coughs, and Randall wakes up normally, like nothing happens to him. So actually, let's listen to all of them screaming, and you can even see like Mariel and Julie were screaming their lungs out, and Randall was just making like a noise. He was trying to hold his scream inside, and since it affected them waking up, once again, it tells us this is not only spiritual connection, this is also a physical connection here. Because if your spirit is having cough, or having a cold, it's not a spirit already, it's a physical being. So let's watch this moment. this moment, this is basically a hint for season 3. We already heard the creators. They are saying basically like, yeah, when Boyd was screaming, "You're not gonna fucking break me, motherfucker," yeah. Basically the monsters listened and they kind of went full Michael Jordan and took it personally.
You don't fucking break me!
Really? Oh, so that's how you gonna play it. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
So yeah, season 3 probably not gonna be easy for Boyd like season 1 and 2 were. And we can see that Good Boy is there. Good Boy is being sent by the boy in white, as we assume usually, and he wants to take Boyd somewhere. We still don't know where. We have a lot of promo material for season 3, but it looks like, you know, like Boyd was there and suddenly he's in town. Obviously we need to see episode 1, I hope it's gonna be referenced somehow, but he's there to check something. He's probably there to check if it all worked, because we can see that the boy in white has a lot of plans. Now, when we move forward, I just enjoy this shot. I kind of freeze framed it and it looks like a drawing. Like, look at this beautiful, magnificent creature. I love dogs. I'm sorry, I love all animals, but I'm a dog person, so every time I see a dog, I'm like, oh my god, there is a dog! And yeah, we can see that Ethan is Victor. They're basically drawing with crayons. Now Ethan is doing this also, and there's this board. We talked about it in the previous episode. We were like, what the hell is that? Somebody was nice enough to turn it around, so we will know that this is basically a chessboard and other games, which I'm not familiar with, but you know, once again, chess. And we can see there's no more buzzing, so the cicadas are disappeared, but once again, the forces, the evil of this place is not disappeared. It didn't. We're gonna come back to it. We still need an explanation about Martin. We still need an explanation about what the hell was it. And you probably don't kill it completely with just destroying the music box. So yeah, the cicadas are disappeared because I think our guys didn't win here. They didn't, okay? Because once again, if they would, there wouldn't be season 3. I think once again, if we're coming back to episode 1 of season 2, the vision that was sent to Elgin with the boy in white telling him, here is the instruction for you. The free, the calm, the kill, the steal, the bleed, the blah, stop the music, bitch. This is what happened. So basically the boy in white really wanted the music to stop because it somehow moves him forward in his plans, but not all of the plans because they are still Tabutha. And once again, music box was the reason for 2 dimensions merging, so it kind of feel like those forces, those evil forces were basically trying to merge those 2 dimensions, this world, the FROMVILLE, with the upside down. And Tabutha, we're coming back once again, back to the beginning of the episode. Tabutha is saying like, what if this is the only way to save Julie is to find the tower? No connection there, but still go to the tower. And once again we can see the trees are moving. Victor, you are actually the one person who doesn't have to be surprised by the fact that you cannot find the same bottle tree from like couple of decades ago, because you always measuring that the trees are moving. So when you come there and it's not there, it's because the trees moved again. And then they find the tree, and once again, good questions. I don't have an answer for you. Probably nobody has, only theories, but who would put the bottles there? It feels, once again, it's just a vibe, it's just an intuition, it's not one person. Okay, it's a lot of bottles, they look very different, probably they're from different eras, from different time periods, so it's probably something that was not done by one person in one time period. And who killed her? Once again, let's us fantasize a little, just imagine thing. So there was this huge massacre, like Christopher probably going insane, taking a gun, shooting everybody, just like Abby, everybody's dead. For some reason, he was shooting them that way, so every corpse was exploded. If you remember Victor going up in episode 4, season 1, all of the corpses were like mutilated by monsters. And somehow his mother is being able to escape, but right next to the tree, she's been killed by who? The monsters caught her here? Or Christopher? I think it's a good question to ask. And when we move forward, yes, after everyone died, I came looking for her once again, and we can see that there's again a freaking scar. Very similar scar to what we have seen on Nkui children, but right now it's on the tree. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Maybe it's not a scar, but I see a scar here. I know it's not like a human being, we don't have the same scar, but it looks like it was made. Obviously, this is a made tree. This is not something that's growing on the forest and the creators are like, oh, there is a nice tree, let's film it. They created, they made it, it's a prop, and they asked for it to have this line. This, I would call it a scar. So yeah, it is connected. This scar has to have some very deep meaning. Here, Victor's like something red here in his pocket, and it's like pointing, I have no idea what is that. Like my first thought, this is this toy, but this toy have like white here tip, and here the red one is pretty big, doesn't look like this one. Let's rewatch this moment, it looks like rounded a bit, maybe it's just another crayon, I don't know, but once again, what is that? I would love to read your comments, to learn, what you think about it. And yeah, let's move forward. We have kind of different color grade. As soon as Tabutha goes through the faraway tree, the color grading changes. For me, it's a signal. This is a different world. This is once again the upside down, as I call it. Once again, something I took from Stranger Things. Probably it's not the same, but it is feel like it is a different reality here. And yeah, similar building technique, like if we look at the ruins that Boyd discovered, it's also like stone building. That's it, like no like architecture design here. Now another interesting here, the light, it's moving, yeah, we're moving forward. We can see 4 and 7 and also 8 with the cards. Once again, 4 and 7, 4 children, 7 grandchildren, 47 on the radio station. It has to mean something. We have seen this car, we have seen it here already in her vision, but it was different. She had also her kids toys there, but she also had this truck with the dump on it, and she also had the ambulance here. And just like it happened with Jade, the children are like, again, welcome, Ankui, we're here, but they're not gonna be here this time. She's not gonna find them. And she goes up, we can see there's like a cogwheel mechanism there, and when she goes even higher, we can see that there's something that looks like a map, maybe. I think maybe it's a map of the whole place. I don't know if it's exactly it or just leftover of, you know, like an ash falling, and it kind of feels like a map, but it's not. Anyway, have no idea. Now here we can see that it's something that is called Fresnel lens. Now Fresnel lens is something that was invented, it's 1780 something, like I'm gonna put the date on the screen, I forgot already, and of course I'm gonna leave all of the links in the comment, in the pinned comment under this video. But if we're talking about the lighthouse, and lighthouse have all those dates like 1506, 16 whatever, 32, once again I don't remember all by heart, they're all written in my board, but what if it's not dates, okay? Because we talked about it already a couple of times. We are assuming that those are the dates because maybe there's the cycle starting, but why would somebody put a date of 1506 on something that was obviously built after 1780 something? Or whatever, like 7000. I don't remember the exact date, but there's like 200 years of difference between the first date in the lighthouse and when this kind of technique was invented. Now you can argue that there was a lighthouse and then somebody built it. I don't know, doesn't sound too logical, but can happen. Or it, once again, those numbers aren't really dates because we've seen one of the numbers on Victor's map, 1783 or something like this. We've seen it on his map in the trailer in episode 2 with a lot of other different numbers, which probably not years because they're like 3000, 2000 and so on and so on. So yeah, if the creators wanted to lead us on a different path, they would put those numbers that look exactly like years and we would break our brains to try to understand what are those numbers. Because if they would put their 3145 or something like this, right away we would understand this is not years, or it's gonna be a future period, timeline, whatever. It doesn't feel like that kind of show with, you know, like the cheap sci-fi effects of flying cars or something like this. So yeah, maybe it's not years, maybe it's numbers, some kind of numbers like houses numbers, the number of steps. The possibilities here are basically limitless and we are all focused on years. So yeah, when we move forward we can see that the boy in white, like every time I'm starting to think this fucker is bad, he's actually genuinely sorry here. Like even when he's like pushing Tabitha, look at his face. This is not somebody who's enjoying this moment. He doesn't really enjoy hurting her. So either he's really good, or maybe he is somehow related to Tabitha. Now there is this crazy theory, this is somehow Thomas's spirit that has grew up and has been stuck here. I'm not a big fan of this theory, but everything can happen. But once again, I want to mention I'm not a big supporter of this theory. Like we had Sarah who said like this, he's probably not a boy, not really a boy, this is some kind of spirit, this is some kind of force. We still don't know what its motivation, but it feels like he's genuinely feels bad throwing her. Now there is also a face of him like already being like almost angry when he pushes it, but it's like he needs to force himself. He needs to go through it. Like when you work out, you don't usually hate the weights, but in the last sets you usually look like you really want to kill somebody. Like this face, you've seen bodybuilders. Yeah, he was actually forcing himself go through it. So yeah, it feels like he's one of good forces here. Now when we can see once again the scar, probably nothing else, but they need to put it here. They need to put it here to make me go insane. Once again, there's like the same scar, the same place on the forehead of Tabitha here, and when she wakes up we can see the St. Anthony's Hospital, the symbol, which looks a lot similar to what we are usually discussing here, the symbol that Jade is obsessed with, the symbol that we had on Victor's backpack. It's all kind of like illusion of like you don't understand how it works, like bended reality. So, and this is what I think happens in FROMVILLE, so a couple of realities are bending together. Yep, so we can see her NA, probably it means there's no information about her, like she's a Jane Doe, sorry, she's a Jane Doe. And yeah, she's like 3 days ago a pair of hikers found you in the woods. So we know that those words are pretty much similar, so she escaped the magic ball. So how did it happen? Like Boyd's torch created a light, and this light somehow guided him to the cellar. Lighthouse creates the light too, and we have seen already a lot of drawings of FROMVILLE, of the city, is being like inside, stuck in this ball, like in this with this glass ceiling. So maybe when you are on the top of the lighthouse, this is something that actually creates this whole place, or at least powers it. And when you're on top of it, being forced through it, it doesn't mean you need to have to fall everything, like all of the stories. Maybe you're just falling like a couple of stories, like 1, 2, and you still have a good chance to survive. And this is what happens to Tabitha. So basically there's like two worlds, okay? One is lighthouse, and upside down of it is not a lighthouse. It's basically like some kind of a, I don't know, a house. Some house, 1 story, 2 stories, doesn't really matter. But if you're like on top of it, it's basically like being on top of here. And if you're in the bottom of it, it's basically like being on the bottom of it. So it's basically like this, but it also bends. So it's like 2 worlds. Sorry, not good in explanations. You're like probably right now wondering why I'm looking at this weird guy's hands. But think about it, like those are the worlds. This is the lighthouse, this is the bottom of the lighthouse, this is the top of the lighthouse. This is the bottom of whatever actually Tabitha fell off, this is the top of whatever Tabitha actually fell off. Now this is if they are upside down, and this is if they are collapsing onto each other. So when she fell from here, she actually fell from here. I hope it makes some kind of sense to you. It sounds a little bit weird and difficult to explain even to me, but maybe this is actually something that happened here. And thank God, it's September 22nd right now, while I'm recording this video. 1 day left, and after that, every time somebody comes to Discord, to the Facebook group, whatever place you are discussing from it, and he's like, haven't you noticed? This is not her in the window, this is somebody who is blonde, we can all gather around and kill this person. No, I'm kidding, of course, YouTube don't ban me, I'm joking, of course, but please, I wait so much for this nonsense to stop already. This is obviously Tabitha, this is just light falling on her hair, and this is why it looks like she's blonde. She's not blonde, this is just basically sun. Look here, is she blonde here? She's not blonde here. It's just sun falling on her hair. That's all. We're gonna put to rest this theory finally in 1 more day. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was a long one. If you watched until the end, my respect to you, my thanks to you. Thank you so much for supporting this video, and yeah, just watching this until the end. This is the biggest support I can get. This is what I really want to do here. Like, obviously Patreons, donations, like comments, like, this is all nice. This is all very much like helping me with my ego, helping me with my imposter syndrome, helping me like to work out all the problems that I have here about my accent and speaking English as my third language, not even the second language. This is all very, very nice and very much appreciated. But my main goal is for me make videos that you enjoy. And if you watch them until the end, you probably enjoy them, so this is the biggest support for me. Now, if you want to do something extra like subscribe, share, subscribe to Patreon, YouTube membership, whatever it is, much appreciated, much appreciated, but it's never necessary. I'm never gonna ask you to do this. It's just something that it needs to come from the heart. If it comes, great, amazing, love you, thank you so much. If not, still love you so much for watching this video until the end. And also start catching your friends on the street, tell them to go watch From, because this show is fucking amazing and it needs to have way more appreciation than it has right now. It needs to become a classic, one of the most talked shows of our generation, because it deserves it. When we get so much shit on the streaming services, so much stupid shows, not because they're like not that smart and not discussing American history, just they were written by ChatGPT in his earlier versions. Like the writing is so many times so bad in TV shows that it's kind of depressing. So when we have something that is low budget but so good story-wise, so interesting, so captivating, it needs to have a bigger audience. It needs to have a Game of Thrones kind of audience. This is just my opinion. Some of you may laugh at me for it. This is once again your choice. You can do whatever you want with your life, but this is, once again, this is what I think, and let's do the word to mouth as much as we can and share this TV show with as many people as we can. So, yeah, probably that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and the next time I'm gonna see you, we're gonna be discussing already episode 1, season 3, and it's gonna be a fucking blast. See you on the next one, bye!